Vive is a new online networking platform and tool that's already being used by around 500 people across the UK. These are folks who are active and involved in local transition groups and other community action around climate change and the intersecting crises we face. Using an open source platform, Vive is being developed by Transition Together in collaboration with Scottish Communities Climate Action Network. Now, many of us are already using social media platforms such as Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, but we see Vive as a living town square for people involved in local community action, a place where we can bump into folks doing similar work, find out how it's going, and share our ideas, inspiration, and challenges. While mainstream corporate platforms can be really useful for broadcasting out about our events and activities to an audience, they've become increasingly difficult to use for building actual relationships and working together. Vive doesn't have any adverts, and there's no algorithms in the background showing preferences for certain types of content. It's a place where our networks can actively connect, share ideas and resources, and problem solve together. So let's take a look at Vive. So you'll find a range of spaces for you to join. They're a bit like groups. So there's geographical spaces that are open to all and allow us to connect and collaborate with our neighbours. The Scotland space is hosted by Scottish Communities Climate Action Network and is a key tool in networking the network. There's a range of themed spaces covering things like social justice, food, energy, and more. These are all open to all, and they're a great place for sharing ideas, events, funding opportunities, and questions that you might need help or advice with. We're also hosting some communities of practice, support groups, and climate action networks. There are a range of different tools that can be switched on in spaces, including calendars, which we can sync with calendars on your website. There's maps and file stores, link lists, surveys, polls, and video meeting rooms for small meetings, and more. We're always open to ideas for new spaces, and any user of Vive can complete a simple request a space form. Just fill out the details, submit it, and we'll get back in touch with you to explore the idea. As there's no algorithms working in the background, we're supporting people to become hosts of spaces that they request, taking a role in moderation and welcoming and engaging interaction when those spaces first get started. We've also been inviting users to join us in co-designing Vive so it can best support your needs. We've been holding sessions online and in person at regional gatherings. It's easy to register and set up a profile. Just go to vive.transitiontogether.org.uk. Then you'll find a sign in and sign up button. Click on Transition Platform ID and just follow the registration process. Once you're registered and logged in, you can add a profile photo and a header photo. You might want to say a little bit about what you do, what work you do, what groups you're involved in. You can add any of your social media handles. You can update your location or add yourself to the map. I'm down here as one of the Bristol people. And you can change things about like the email summaries you get, what kind of notifications you get, so that you can control when you receive emails and notifications and their frequency. Once you're happy with the settings on your profile, you can always come back and edit them at any point. It's time to have a bit of an explore. And I'd recommend starting with this menu of spaces. See what types of activities and spaces are available, and then just click to join. As you can see, I'm already a member of pretty much all of these spaces, but if I wasn't, just like yourselves, you'd see an option here to follow or join a space. So I'm going to take a little look at the food space, see what's been going on here. There's programs being shared, There's updates from a transition group in Suffolk. There's an app, information about an app. There's growing for food and therapy. There's all sorts of conversations going on there. I've got a bit of a question. So I'm going to ask, hello, could anyone recommend some good videos about no dig? It's time for me to get my allotment under control. So I could post that straight away, or I can create it as a draft or schedule the publication for another time. I think I'm going to create this one as a draft because I've got some other questions that I'd like to ask later. If I want to go ahead and publish it, I just click on the button here and I'll publish that draft. But it's here for me to come back to whenever I'm ready to finish it. To keep up to date on posts and conversations on Vive, you can either go and visit a specific space that you're a member of, but if you're a member of more than one group, I definitely recommend using your dashboard. Here you can see a range of latest activities and latest posts in a variety of different spaces that I'm a member of. You might then want to take a look at who else is on Vive. So you'll see a list of people who've been recently logging in, or you can search for particular people. I'm going to see if my colleague Sam's on here. Here he is. We're already friends, but if we weren't, I could click here to become friends with him. And I'm going to send him a quick message. Hi, Sam. How is it going fixing the bugs? There are calendars set up in many spaces, and you can look at upcoming events and activities from all the spaces you've joined here in your main calendar. There we go. Here's the upcoming Northwest Regional Gathering. Now, if you ever get stuck or have any problems, you can head over to the help page. You'll see there's a tour, there's an intro video, there's a few things that will help you navigate your way around. We've got our community agreement here, and you'll see on all of the pages this blue speech bubble. So if you've got a problem and you can't find the answer in help, just click on that, send us some details, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. We know that there are so many communication channels and platforms vying for our attention. We'd like to see Vive as a place where we strip that all back down to the simple tools that people want and need to connect and collaborate together. We all know about slow food. You could say Vive is a bit like slow tech, allowing for deeper connection and less of the noise, pace, and adverts we find everywhere else. We would love to have you come and join us on Vive. Just go to vive.transitiontogether.org.uk. Hopefully see you there soon.